Well, hello YouTube. I have not done a great job of prioritizing video editing for these longer form videos this year, like I said I was going to, but I'm back. I've got some new equipment, I've got some new plans, and I am setting aside the time. So, come on today's adventure. So this barn that collapsed last winter from the snow load left behind a section that was still standing. But where the buildings met, it left an open space. And I would like to be able to get it closed in enough that snow stays out so I can park a truck in here this winter and at least keep the snow off from it. So we put some Tyvek over it. As you can see, sorry for the weird lighting, I'm having to use my pickup lights. It hasn't held on the bottom, so I'm going to try and close this in, at least get the paper to stay. This is completely temporary, and like I know this isn't structural, and I know it's not perfect. Just trying to keep the snow out. But we have had some of the craziest wind that historically hasn't been an issue here. Like, we get some wind, but we've had like 3 different storms just in the last month that have brought winds of more than 40 miles an hour, and that's really atypical from here. The day we put the paper up, it was 40-mile-an-hour winds coming from the opposite direction that they typically come from. So that was not helpful for how well we got it situated on there and how well we got it held. So I'm gonna try and do a little bit more. Wish me luck or laugh. Whichever you choose, it works for me. Get a couple more boards. That was definitely a task. It was easier said than done, but the wind has kind of come and flowed. There's a little bit of a lull right now, so I'm actually going to put a couple vertical boards in as well and hope that that helps. But you guys, I take on some of the strangest projects. Okay, so that's gonna have to be all I can do tonight because I'm totally out of screws. Oh, I have one more. So I suppose if I take one out from the bottom board, I can hang this other one. So I guess I'll do that. Okay, that's about the best that I can do tonight, and I think I'm going to have to add some more I have a couple more boards. I definitely want to add one here, and I need to get more screws. But I'll show you, the more important thing is that I need to close the overhead doors on the other side. And now I'm in the pitch black, and you probably can't see me because I was working from my headlights and they've turned off. I guess that's my sign to be done for tonight. We'll get the doors shut tomorrow night. Okay, so this is the side that I was talking about, has doors that are still open. So I think the wind is really like just blowing through from this direction and pushing on that paper too much. But we don't have any power here, so I need to hook up the generator with an extension cord to shut these doors because they are so big that to disconnect them and try and do it manually is a real challenge. But I have to tell you, I don't know if you can see this, I have some solar lights set up, and I have a rechargeable USB one. This one I put in the trailer, but these LED solar powered lights that I've put outside have been really fantastic. And I have a couple more to put inside of this space, and I'm gonna run the solar panels outside so that I can light up the inside of that building once I shut the doors. And I also need to rig some extension cords out and relocate the generator inside, because right now it's in my tool trailer, but I'm going to put the whole tool trailer inside this garage too. I'm a little bit late with my winter prep because, to be honest, as you know, I have been leasing this facility, borrowing this facility. It's family that owns it, not me. And I wasn't positive of, how things were progressing and what we were going to do to close it in. I've just been flying by the seat of my pants. And we also know, or if you don't know, I have another full-time job on top of my trucking company. So I have 3 dump trucks that are on the road every day and 3 drivers. And I got talked into going back into the IT world. So I have a full-time job as a director of technology for a school district. So the hours that I have to do physical labor over here in getting ready for the winter are limited, and after my day job, which time-wise is not a problem, the short winter days are the real problem. So I'm making do very quickly with whatever kind of daylight I've got, and now I'll just start doing this, turning on my pickup headlights to get through. So that is today's adventure, and there will be more to come. Like I said, I've got this really fancy new camera setup with a light even and a microphone, and I'm trying to make sure I document more of my entertainment instead of just flying through life 100 miles an hour. So if there's things that you guys want to see or adventures while growing my trucking company that you would like to see or hear about, just put your questions in the comments and I will do my best. We're gonna do this together, so come along. Okay, it's the next day and I am back to do some more prep and get these doors shut and run some extension cords for the generator, but the sun is set, so I've only got about a half an hour of daylight left to work with. So I've got my headlamp on, so I'm ready. And I kind of figured you probably couldn't see these doors. So this is the area in which I'm gonna try and get these doors shut. I'm gonna move the generator over and run some extension cords, but since we don't have power, it's dark inside the building. When I close the doors, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge to navigate. So I'm also going to hook up some solar lights. So I might not get it all done, but I'm gonna get to work and get as much done as I can. This has seriously been the handiest little generator. I probably should have bought one a long time ago, just for the convenience. The size of it is perfect, and it meets our needs pretty well. Okay, I think the first thing I'm gonna do is rig up an extension cord for the door that I have closed, that I closed manually, because that one I wanna be able to leave the cord plugged in so we can use that door every time we're using the generator. But I have to navigate the ladder in there. Okay, only 10 trips up and down the ladder, and I got the door hooked back up. So now, and I ran it, so now I'm gonna run an extension cord to the fuel tank temporarily. On to the next step. Now that I've hooked up the generator and tested it and it's working successfully there, I'm not gonna leave my extension, Josie, I'm not gonna leave my extension cords strewn across the floor because I ultimately want to be able to pull a truck in and out of here. But for the short term, so I can get all these doors shut and stop the wind from whipping through here, it's gonna work. Nope. Okay, now that that's working perfectly, I'm gonna move my ladder over to the next bay, but I'm gonna cheat so I don't have to keep folding it up and dragging it around. This is like the longest extension cord known to man. Maybe there's more than one of them here. I have carpenter friends that this would give so much anxiety. Oh yeah, look at that, there's two. That's helpful. I promise I'll coil up my extension cords when I'm not using them from now on. Honestly, I'm mostly impressed that I actually own this many extension cords. Now this one I'm not gonna hook up to stay. I'm only gonna hook it up long enough to shut the door and hope that this works. Perfect. I think I can reach that. The nice thing about these two doors is that the mechanisms were still hooked up already, so I didn't have to do that. Okay, let's give this door a try. All right, that's fantastic. Gonna shut the generator off and get to work on a couple of lights. Okay, now to put the solar panel on the outside. I know that it is not ideal to just string it in to be shut in the door, but for tonight, I'm going to do that. The next time I work on this, I will make it more secure. There's actually a few holes here for current lighting circuits that I might try and reuse. All right, that gives a fair amount of light. That does pretty good. Gives enough light to walk across the room and fire up the generator. I'm gonna call it quits for the night. I got all three doors shut, I got some lights hooked up, so this is 2 nights worth of work getting this remaining structure closed in, and I think I'm gonna call it good for now and take care of a few other things and then come back to tidy this up and do a little more winter prep. Thanks for following along. Until the next video, stay safe, driver.